Hi. There's so many different ways that psychics can work, or people with intuition. You can be led down so many different paths using your intuition. As some people don't like to use any tools whatsoever, and some people like to use tools and other items with their intuition. And it just depends on which way you want to go. You sort of get drawn to a certain area. It's like when I first started doing this, as a teenager, I tried using tools. So I was looking in different books, and I was actually doing spells and doing little things in the books. There's little activities and exercises that I could do in the book. And every time I tried to do something with tools, I was drawn straight back to using just my intuition. So my way of doing my work is just using clairvoyance and connecting with energy. I do love to write. I would say I'm more of an automatic writer than somebody who speaks. If I'm doing a reading on you and I'm looking at your photograph and I'm connecting with your energy, I'm so engrossed in that zone that I don't really want to speak. So I just write. So I type or I write, and that flows for me. Other psychics find it a lot easier to, they find it easier to speak, to do their readings by speaking. Some psychics will use a piece of jewelry. So they close their eyes and they hold your jewelry, and because you've been wearing it, the energy can go into the jewelry. So what they're doing is feeling the energy from a piece of jewelry. So that's another way that psychics can work, or intuitives. So I've got a whole heap of tools here around me that over the years I've collected, and I've had some of these things for 40 years or 30 or 40 years. So I've had them for a very long time. Don't use them anymore, but they're a very interesting way of teaching people how to use different tools and what interests you, because you'll be drawn to something. You'll find it so interesting. You can get drawn into it yourself. So one of the main ones that people would use would be tarot cards. Tarot reading is not just learning. So there's the Temperance card. It's not just about learning what the Temperance card represents. It's about knowing what it means and then creating the spread that you want to create, because you can have so many different types of spreads. People do the past, the present, the future, what other people are thinking. It's many, many different spreads. You find the ones that suit you, and it's all about getting, like, if you were to have three cards together, the 3 of air, the 6 of air, I've got 4 there, 7 of water, and the Emperor. It's about understanding what each card means and then putting them together. So putting them into a story for the reader. So that's where your intuition is going to come in. Your knowledge will come in as to what the card represents, but your intuition will be saying, together, when those 4 are together, this is what is unfolding in the story for the person that you are reading. So tarot, there's one exercise that you can, maybe you're drawn to doing. You'll get a book with every tarot set, and the thing is learning about what every card means. So that's one. Then you've just got simple little cards like this, little angel cards. On the back is quick, short answers, and they are just a case of, you think of a question in your mind, and there you go, that one there is standing out, and the answer is think carefully. So whatever you're thinking about at the moment, just think it through carefully before you go making a decision. And I'll give you another one. Thought of your question? Set your sights high. So whatever you're thinking about, go for it. Focus on what you're going to gain out of it. Because the whole thing about focusing It's not focusing on the problem. It's focusing on the feeling of when you have it. So they're just little cards for quick answers. Then you can get oracle cards. These ones don't have a book or anything. They have messages written on the back of the card and really beautiful artwork on the front. They are by Tony Carmina Salerno. I think that's what they are. And that's just at home. You can buy these. Bookshops have them. You can get them online. And then if you just want a little bit of guidance for yourself, I quite often buy these and give them out as gifts to people. And then when they're just thinking, I just want a little bit of a message for myself. And the message is, magic and blessings, transformation, a blessing in disguise is coming your way. Keep an open heart and mind. So they're also something that you can buy and use for yourself just when you want to do a bit of guidance. There is also like the Doreen Virtue. I have 4 sets of Doreen Virtue cards that I have had for a very long time and I no longer use them. But these kind of cards come with a book. So you can actually do readings for people using these kind of cards. Oh, straight away. 2 flipped out. We have partnership and it is safe for you to receive. So whoever out there, that's just jumped out for someone out there because it may be that you're having trouble allowing yourself to receive. You might be the giver all the time, but you complain about giving all the time. But the blockage might be that you're struggling to allow yourself to receive in return. And for others, there's a partnership of some kind coming, as in a relationship or business partnership. So, but these cards, you can actually make a little spread with these cards, have all the meanings worked out already in your mind. It's more like studying the meanings, because they can have different, like the word partnership, that can come in many different ways. That can come as in an intimate relationship partnership. It can come in a working together partnership. It can come in as a friendship partnership. So when you're putting all the cards out, you're finding the meaning of each one and then putting that story together with what they are. So these are, I don't know how much they cost. I think you can get them relatively under $30, most of them, and you can get them off eBay or online anywhere, in news agencies, I think sometimes bookshops. So that's something else you can do for yourself. We also have Runestones, which I had a book like this come with them. There's 25 Runestones in here. And these are, you just put your hand in the bag and, oh, I've got 2 stuck together. So we have those 2 there. And in the front of the book is, I'll have to put my glasses on to read this. That one there is for growth. And that one there is signals. So if you look at that, you see there's 25 different stones, and you could actually get some pebbles yourself and draw, paint or texture the those designs on there, and then go to a really good website with all the meanings, write down all the meanings, and you've got your own set of runestones. So the strength one, what was that? I'll read this. The growth, 115. There we go. It's here to consider with care and awareness. First, disperse any resistance, then accomplish the work. For this is to happen, you must be clear and controlled, your motives correct. Any dark corners should be cleansed. This must be carried out diligently and sometimes with expert help. Modesty, patience, fairness, and generosity are called for here. Once resistance is dispersed and rectification carried out and seen to hold firm, then through steadfastness and right attitude, the blossoming can start to occur. So runestones are very deep with their meanings. They're not like yes and no answers, and this is always a very spiritual and deep meaning with the runestones. So that's something else. What else have we got here? These Chinese fortune sticks, which came with a little book with 78. There's 78 sticks in here, and this is just going like that until one of them flings out, and it's number 75. And number 75 is, you will soon receive some valuable jewellery. So they're really fun. Just a fun little thing to do. Also, with reading tarot, you can also read ordinary playing cards. Playing cards, every single playing card has a meaning. So you can also, as you would do a tarot reading and spread out, do your past, your present, your future, you can do the same thing with a pack of playing cards. All you need to do is go online and see what each card means. Like twos would be something like partnerships, two people. I know the diamonds represent like money. The hearts represent the family, emotions. So you work out what the suits reveal, what the numbers are, and you could do your own readings with just a pack of playing cards at home. Also, palmistry. So everybody will have different lines on their hands. Some people, I have looked at people's hands that have had hardly any lines at all, and other people's is like crazy. There's lines everywhere. But the top one there is your heart line, and it can quite often come from a finger and down, or that finger and down. They can start at a different place, and they can fork off at the ends of the lines, and then you have the headline through the middle there. The lifeline goes from here is your starting age, like birth, and it goes down towards the wrist, and that's the end of life, down that way. There's a health line that heads towards the little finger. There's a fate line that heads up through to the middle finger. There's marriages or long relationships are on the side there. And for me personally, I've always seen children lines going down that way through the relationship lines. Also, you read the hand that you use the most. So I'm looking at the wrong one there. So I'm right-handed. So, and also on the lifeline, when there is a cross going through the lifeline, that's usually a major event or something happening. And for me, I've got 5 sons who were born when I was 21, 23, 25, 35, or 40. They were born. And on my lifeline, around those age brackets, I have a line going through them, which is when my children were born. Also, right in the middle of your palm, there will be a cross. If you have psychic abilities, I have a cross on both my hands. Then that's right in the middle between the head and the heart line. There's so much information when you get into palmistry. There's so much information that can be recorded in the lines on your hand. So if that's something that interests you, it's definitely worth getting into. Also, tea reading. You can see symbols inside the tea. So for me, if I saw tea leaves at the top of the teacup, like near the rim, I would feel like that was something going to be happening that was closer in time. If it was at the bottom, I would feel like it was further away. You could sometimes see a tree in the shape of the tea leaves, which could represent a dying off, like when in winter when trees die off and they're regrown. So a dying off for the person or yourself if you're reading yourself, and then a rebirth with the tree, or needing to get out in nature more, needing to ground yourself more. Sometimes you can see a picture of people, a person in tea leaves. You can see a cloud formation. There's a lot of books out there to learn about tea reading. So that's something else really interesting. Also, you can do quick answers at home for yourself with dice. So draw a circle on a piece of paper. So simple. Get 2 dice. Think of your question and then roll. Now you only take there was a 3 and a 2, but the 3 went out of the circle and the 2 landed in the circle. So you only take the one that landed in the circle, and 2 represents no. The answer is no. So we'll do that again. What's a question we can think of? Are we all going to have a new money system developed throughout the world to help everybody? And it came out 7, and 7 is have faith. So I'll just leave that there for a minute if you want to screenshot the screen and copy down what the meanings are. That's a good one to do if you're trying to ask a question for yourself and you're not sure whether you're giving yourself the answer or if it's coming from somewhere else. So the dice are answering it for you. So that's another good one. And we also have these divining rods. Now, you need to come swinging back in. That's it. These are very, very sensitive to energy. And I have used these on people's bodies where I can have someone standing in front of me and using these scan down their body. Whoa, back you go. I haven't got no water there yet. It's trying to go in. That if you go down somebody's body, they will cross over at a place in the body where there is a problem, like a bit of a health issue or a disease or something like that. I'm just going to, because look, they're super sensitive. If you just hold them like that, they'll swing. So to start with, you've got to hold them quite firmly in your hands and you're focusing your energy on them so that they stay still. And you can use these outside, especially when you're near water. They love to pick up water. So I'm just going to put a glass of water there and we'll see what happens. I need to get them still first. You see how they cross over? Because they're feeling the water. Can you see them vibrating? So if you use these outside, you can find where there is water, water pipes. They've just, and use them on people's bodies. But you kind of got to practice with them first to get your energy into them and so that they stay still. And then you've got to walk with them as you're walking with them, and as you get closer and closer and closer to water, like because I'm getting closer to that glass of water again, see how they're starting to move. So they're divining rods. That might be something that you're interested in getting into, because there's a lot of people out there that when they've bought a property, they really want to know where water is on the property without digging. So you can use somebody's services. People will do that for a job for you. They're water diviners. That's what they do. And I'm just going to show you this book. This is a book that I was given when I was 12. Look at the poor little decrepit thing. It's like falling apart. But this has spells in it and little things you can do to fortune telling exercises. That was the very first book I was given when I was a young girl. And then I got this one probably, I think, in my in my teens. It was the Book of Fate. And it has something really interesting in here. It says about moles on your body, where moles are placed on your body, and the type of personality that people can have where a mole is. So it says a mole on the right side of your forehead near the right temple signifies sudden wealth and honour. A mole on the right eyebrow denotes a speedy marriage. A mole on the left eyebrow of either of those three places announces unexpected disappointment. A mole on the outside corner of the eye denotes a steady person. A mole on either cheek signifies that that person will never rise above the mediocrity in fortune, though he will never fall into poverty, so middle of the road type person. A mole on the nose signifies that a person will have good success in his undertakings. A mole on the lip, upper or lower, proves the person to be fond of delicate things and much given to the pleasures of love. A mole on the chin foreshows great prosperity and high esteem. A mole on the side of the neck signifies that the person will narrowly escape suffocation. A mole on the throat denotes that the person shall become rich by marriage. And it continues on right through to there's 25 different definitions of where moles are. So you can look that up online. Maybe it's something you never thought of before. So I think there is also a lot of people like to use smudge sticks where you just light them, blow them out so they're just smoking, and then you use that to cleanse your home. Personally, I don't feel I need to cleanse anything. After a lot of people would, after their readings, will have a certain cleansing. They cleanse their cards or they cleanse their stones, or a lot of other people like to have crystals, and I have this beautiful crystal here. There's no right or wrong in any of it. It just is what you feel is comfortable for you. If you do a reading for somebody and then feel like you have to go and ground yourself or you have to cleanse, it's entirely up to you. It's each individual person works how they work. So yeah, I think I've shown you most of the things that you could use. So if you're starting out using your intuition and you want to keep practicing with certain things, you might have been drawn to something I've just shown you, then you want to get further into it and learn more about it and become an expert in that field, or you just may want to play around with them at home yourself. I'm losing my voice. So yeah, it's all very interesting, isn't it? And for me personally, I like to write. Like as soon as I feel a download coming, the first thing I'll do is write. And I have always, just threw the dice. I always have a book with me that is constantly, like this was when I did a little video the other day about the earth and it being made of glass, and the way they were showing me that the light, we used to have a dense earth and the light was out here shining down onto the dense earth, and it's been blown apart now, and the new earth that is forming, the light will be on the inside shining out. That came through, like I had to grab a pen and write that down straight away, because they download this information and they say you have to get that out there to help people understand what's happening. So you may get an inspiration to just go and write something. So just, if you feel like it, write it down, because you might forget about it later on. If you just think about it and then think, I'll go over that, you'll forget about it. So write it down. And quite often I will write something, and 2 or 3 days later I go back to it and I go, oh, did I write that? Like I don't even remember writing it. It just comes through that quick. So find your little niche, find what you're into, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it. I hope you start developing your intuition with it. And thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And if you like the video, it helps more people to see it. So I'm trying to sort of build a bit of a base. I haven't been on YouTube before much, and I'm trying to get messages and help out there to more people. So the more you subscribe and like and share my page with others, it really helps me as well. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk with you soon.